How's it going, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today, I wanted to give my thoughts on the Rotten Tomatoes score and some of the hubbub that's going around for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because a lot of people were able to watch it just last night, and now there's a lot of fan reactions out there, a lot of critics' reactions in particular, because obviously the audience score for Rotten Tomatoes isn't out yet, but I just wanted to go over the very early reactions, kind of what I did with the Flash film, because that was also screened, and a lot of people got to see that, and which, by the way, very positive reaction for that movie, and it's a relatively positive reaction for this movie as well. I mean, right off the bat, we'll start talking about the Rotten Tomatoes score, and it has dipped within the few hours that it's been up, and more reviews have been getting posted. And I guess before we actually do talk about what the score is, Rotten Tomatoes, I don't always like to trust Rotten Tomatoes critics. If a movie has a good rating or a bad rating, it all depends. I just go in and form my own opinion. That's just what you should do, in my opinion. You shouldn't listen to Rotten Tomatoes all the time, but I still think it's fun to talk about, okay? And we're not just going to be talking about Rotten Tomatoes in this. We'll be talking about, just fan reactions and stuff that obviously were from people who got to see the movie. But this movie debuted with a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes with 32 reviews, I believe, which is pretty good. However, yes, now at the time of me making this video, it has dipped a little significantly, if we're being honest. It went from a 91 to an 80, but it's kind of jumping back up. It was like an 81 a second ago, and then it was 80. But I think right now, again, at the time of me making this video, it's an 80. Hopefully it can stay around that range. If it dips down into the 70s, I mean, it doesn't really matter, again, but it's fun, okay? It's like, I don't want it to dip down in the 70s, because I'm looking forward to this movie. I've had my, issues with James Gunn, I guess you could say, but I still like the Guardians of the Galaxy films, and I want to see how it ends. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, this is a pretty conclusive ending to the trilogy, which I'm happy about. A lot of people saying it's very heartfelt. This, is really the last time we get to see the Guardians, maybe. At least for a long time. A lot of people are saying that, which just really gets me excited. A lot of people saying it's got high stakes, which is fun. I mean, there's been a lot of conversations being had about who's going to die in this movie. A lot of people are leaning towards Rocket dying. Now, I don't know if that's just too predictable or not, but who knows? It might be Rocket. A lot of people also have said Drax could die, because I think Dave Bautista said he's just done with the character, or at least he doesn't see himself returning. So that could be another potential candidate on who could die. But, a lot of people are praising this movie for actually having these stakes raised. And it's not, really leaving a question in your mind if it's if we're going to be getting another Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It feels like this really is a conclusive ending to the trilogy, which really just excites me a lot. Because I didn't want this to not have an ending that makes you think that, oh, there's going to be more. No, I want the stories to end. You know what I mean? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But a lot of people saying it's pretty perfect, actually. Some people go as far as to say that. Yasmin Candile on Twitter says it is the perfect installment. A lot of people are also saying that this movie is very emotional. Obviously, that's to be expected if there are going to be character deaths. Now, I haven't seen any spoilers, but I imagine that they will start circulating pretty soon. And I might have to stay off Twitter or something. I don't want to get spoiled for anything. But a lot of people saying it's a very heartfelt story. It's got the James Gunn flair. It feels similar to the other films, obviously, which is a good thing. Now, a lot of people also have said that it's actually better than the second movie. But I don't know if I've seen anyone say it's the best Guardians of the Galaxy film. I think a lot of people like to say the first one is the best Guardians movie. And I would tend to agree. I mean, at least I like the first one more than the second film. But I think this could potentially be better than the second for sure. I did see a few people say it is better than the second, which again gets me excited. And some people are claiming this is going to end up being one of the best superhero trilogies of all time, which is pretty crazy to think. But I mean, yeah, it's possible. The first one's really good. Second one's good as well, just not as good. And then, if the third one, once I see it, I'll be able to form my opinion and see if it'll be good or not. But all these reviews are pretty interesting, man. I mean, it's interesting. It's kind of what I expected, though. I didn't expect for any of these reviews to be super negative or anything, but I would like, again, for the Rotten Tomatoes score, at least, to stay around the 80s mark. And we'll see once the audience reactions come out. and it'll be interesting. And then, of course, you'll see my review for this movie once I check it out in May. But yeah, I'm super excited, man. It's looking good for this movie, and yeah. Actually, some people are also saying it's one of the best MCU trilogies, comparing it to the Iron Man trilogy, the Captain America trilogy, Ant-Man trilogy, which, I mean, Captain America trilogy is really strong. I mean, every movie in that trilogy is very strong, so that's crazy that some people are saying some of these movies are creating the best MCU trilogy, actually. I mean, that's kind of cool, though. Gets me just so hyped. Hyped, man. But let me hear your thoughts on all this down in the comments below. What do you guys think of these reactions? What do you guys think of the Rotten Tomatoes score? Of course, you don't really have to accept the Rotten Tomatoes score as gospel or anything because, it's just stupid critics at the end of the day. But it is exciting. I'm glad that when it first did debut, it was a 91%, which is pretty awesome. And, yeah, it's cool stuff. But let me hear your thoughts on this. Are you looking forward to this movie? I know I am. I'll be checking it out, and it'll probably end up being one of the better films of the year, actually. I'm hoping for it to be. I mean, we've already gotten a few really great films this year, but this could end up being like top 10 worthy, maybe. At least for comic book films, I think that's a high possibility. And yeah, I'm just excited to see. I'm also holding off on listening to the music from this movie. I know it's already out there. Was it Awesome Mix Volume 3, I think it's called, or something like that. So I'm kind of holding off on listening to the music as well, just because I want to be surprised when I actually watch the movie. But yeah, all right, I'm jabbering on now. Post your thoughts and comments down below. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Check out my Twitter and Letterboxd down in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.